All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want this is the shortcut channel. Watch how the weaknesses come up. You know what I mean? You guys should try it. Try getting your shoulder replaced and then doing this workout program.
Just give it a try.
I had a schedule, obviously, because I feel like I'm a superhero, kind of, so I automatically heal faster than you normal humans. But then again, I wouldn't have all these problems if I was a superhero, right? It's weird. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people who may be in my position or in other positions where they've had major surgeries, whatever the fuck that is. They're all fucking major. If they cut you open and put you out, they're major. It's like, who would more than likely be doing as little as possible when they're done their surgery because they're like sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. It's like, I don't know whether I'm stupid or I'm just part of this, like I said before, elite group of people. But I just would rather, I think most people that have any know-how about training or the body, it's good to get moving as soon as possible, right? Because you need to like wake, for lack of a better word, wake up the body. Like neurologically, we need to get things like understanding movements again, like how things move together, like my arm and my hand, like things move together and they move in sequence. So that way, it's weird because when you have to get a surgery where you like lock down an area and you're not moving it, you realize how many like random movements actually cause you to like feel something like that you never would feel if there wasn't something wrong in that area. Like you're purposely guarding it. Like you like reach for something, you're like, oh my God, like why did I feel that in my opposite arm? You know what I mean? Or you do something, just some random movement will always elicit some kind of like cross-section hit of the body, right? So it's like, you have to be smart about how you do it. It's not, I think you should be very slow about, like I'm being very slow about my range of motions, like what I'm able to do, how far I'm able to lift my arm, things like that, because I'm listening, right? But outside of those parameters, if it doesn't hurt, I'm doing it. And if it feels fine and helps me move better or my body move or wake up, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna like, it's the same analogy, like I'm not gonna do a leg press with 4 plates on each side, knowing that I have to would have to grab onto a handle and like pull up on that and cause strain into my joint, right? I wouldn't do things that would cause me to base pressure and create strain in the area that's fucked up, right? So you guys have to be wary of that as well. Like move within reason and understand when you lock down on some stuff, you may not realize how much pressure you actually put on the area that's recovering, right? So you're kind of hindering yourself. Like this, for example, like if I pull on this, would normally put a lot of weight on this hand and I would create a lot more tension here, but I'm just kind of resting my hand light and rocking up through things. Whereas like before I said, I would be driving into this thing and ripping up as tall as I could. And I know I can't do that right now, but I'm getting that tension of understanding, like my hand knows how to rest here and move. So my arm's folding like it should, and I'm rocking up through both shoulders. So I'm creating movement that's passive on the other side, but I'm still active on this side, right? So yeah, I couldn't load 4 plates on here because I'd need to support myself more. So it's understanding. I spoke this morning with Matt Nickel. If you guys don't know who Matt Nickel is, you don't know shit about training. But he helped me out this morning with some rehab stuff. It's like he kind of solidified the thought that I had and just made the idea more clear to me in the sense that like the first few weeks after you do a surgery, you have something done. It's just about neurologically getting things to fire, like doing like a shoulder retraction, like holding, like just very slow motion stuff or just very random like stuff you wouldn't think is anything if you were completely fine, but those little kind of getting that muscle to grab and getting it to let go, or holding an iso hold for a little bit that's just could be 5 pounds on a fucking cable in front of you and you're just pulling it and holding it and then letting your shoulder release and pulling. It's 15 pounds, 10 pounds, but like those little tiny little movements are going to elicit a lot of response in your body, because your body's looking to be told like, oh, I haven't done this stuff and I haven't felt like I could, so I have to like kind of give myself permission by slowly opening up these ranges, right?
With what Matt Nichols has showed you, are you going to keep doing that pre-shoulder workouts?
Yeah, no, once
As a warm-up?
yeah, like right now the stuff that I'm doing rehab wise, I'm doing every other day.
Okay.
So as to not like inundate myself or like exhaust my shoulder. Like I'm trying to like just set good patterns and good movement patterns and then reinforce them when they should be. It's not like if I hammer something, it's going to get better quicker, which is like a good analogy for bodybuilding. For all you guys and girls out there are training with so much frequency and like so concerned about how often or how much time you spend in the gym. It's just about doing the work and leaving, right? So if I do 45 minutes of rehab stuff, 30 minutes of rehab stuff on my shoulder with physio, with Matt or whoever, that's gonna carry dividends over after that session, and my body has to recover from it. So I have to, like, my body has to recognize what's just happened. It has to kind of like download that information, and then it has to be like, oh, okay, now we've reinforced this movement pattern, it's slowly coming back. Now we come back and we reinforce it again in a day or two, right? Because I mean, I could do all these exercises over and over again the whole time I'm training. Like 4 times a day I do my exercise, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's not gonna work that way, right? As much as you might hope it does. Because I would too, I wanna get better faster too, right? But it's like, I also don't want to rip my shoulder apart again. I think a lot of people are fucking soft as fuck. It's like, I think hold on, help me get this up. See what's that?
Keep it reach.
There we go. I think a lot of that was my mentality of that, and I'm sure other guys and girls who played sports can attest to, like, when you're injured and you play a sport and you're like younger coming up, there's no, like, you gotta get better quickly. Unless it's the end of the season, it's like, okay, you got the whole off season. It's like if you get hurt like mid-season, start of the season, if you don't get better quickly, you ain't gonna play, right? So it's like, as bad as that is, and as much as that thinking has got me to where I am today with a fucked up body, like, it's kind of ingrained in you. It's like, there's no time to sit around and feel sorry for yourself. Like, get going, right? So I don't think a lot of people have kind of had that pressure on them or felt that fucking external pressure from someone else, or like another factor being like, you know, you need to, like, if you don't get back playing, you're gonna lose your spot, right? Especially when it comes to like big time football or big time sports. Like, you're hurt too long. Look at like some of the, like, Tom Brady wouldn't have never been Tom Brady if Drew Bledsoe didn't go down that season, right? And he got thrown in there and fucking, what happened to Drew Bledsoe? No more Drew Bledsoe. Everyone's like, who's Drew Bledsoe? Tom Brady, that guy who was married to Giselle. I think it's good to have that mentality, though. I don't think that people should be afraid to push themselves, right? You gotta also understand, like, when you get a surgery or something's wrong with you, you get it corrected, there's no longer something wrong with you. From the minute you wake up, you're already better than you were before you went under. So you're constantly on a progressive path upward, as long as you don't do some stupid shit like they told you not to do this and you did this, or you wrench your arm or wrench your leg or something, and you tear something they've reattached. Like, as long as you're moving within that protocol, and like the rise isn't that big, the steps are very small at the start, but it's like you get to a point where you start like really elevating and getting back to the level where you may be, you're getting back up there slowly, right? And you'll be stronger than you were. So it's also, the only right side of surgery is that it makes you slow down. Yeah, it does though. Whenever you have an injury, or even if you need surgery for it or not, it makes you reevaluate your movement, right? If you're intelligent, because you're like, man, I need to think about what I'm doing. I need to think about like how all these assisting muscles work. Like, why am I so weak in this area? How do I get this stronger? Why is this not moving as well? And you got to understand like how the body works. I don't think people take advantage of that time, because there is a bright side to it, in the sense that, like, one, it slows down your life because you're not doing everything as fast as you did before. You're very conscious of like what's going on with your person. Like, I understand my arm is hurt. I need to like focus on mentally like this feeling better. I'm looking to feel better, right? Whereas all of us go through our daily lives and we're injury free, and it's just like zooming from one thing to the next, right? When it comes to injuries, like I have to think about like getting on the treadmill. I have to think about like walking, and then I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't want to like trip by accident and have to like reach for something or not pay attention, and all of a sudden I trip and I put my arm out to stop myself, and next thing you know, poof, right? So it's good because it makes people slow down in a world that's like everyone can attest to, just moving so fucking fast. I'm so obsessed with like now, and better, and like all this stuff. Like, I'm sure there's other people who do YouTube and videos who would like, they would never film in my position because they can't physically do their workouts, so they think no one would care. And that's a problem in itself, because obviously then you don't have any information that's worth fucking hearing. If you can't convey a message and help people learn, or like speak about something and have someone's brain turn on and think about things in a certain way, then really what are you doing? You're that dorky kid who was on Instagram the other day complaining that his gym kicked him out for filming, and then he proceeds to fucking out himself by saying 80% of the reason why I go to this gym is just to film myself for my social media. Like, you don't even like to work out. 20% is of you wanting to actually be there and work out.
Crazy. Don't
go to the gym, you little shit. Like, fucking free up some machines for the rest of us who actually want to be here, you fucking weirdo. And fucking kudos to that gym. Wherever you are, write me. I'll fucking send you free merch. Don't ever let that fucking dork back in there. He's gonna write me hate mail now. He's fucking... You're a fucking asshole, man. Just trying to become a fitfluencer. What do they call them? It's like, how did you decide you were going to do that of all the things you could do in life? Oh, I had another thing I want to talk about. This is a serious fucking thing. As much as I sound like I'm not serious right now. I'm like, enough of the fucking... Some guy, I don't think he meant anything harm by it. Or like, there's just these like, it's just this culture of like men out there that are looking to stir up drama. Like, if you're a man and you're trying to stir up drama and you're trying to like start friction between people and you don't even know the people, you're like, so-and-so said this and I think this and that. And like, it's like a guy fucking tagged me in a video of Andrew Jack training with Psycho Lewis. And he's like, oh, imagine he trained like with me, how much fucking crazier he'd be. And I'm like, why are you going on to someone's page and insulting them like that? First of all, like, Andrew does not need my help, and Psycho is a great fucking trainer. So if they're working together, they're obviously in good hands. Like, things are going well, right? Like, don't fucking write my name on that shit. And then it comes across as like, in his mind, or if I saw that too, I'd be like, why the fuck are people doing that? Like, you little shit disturber. And I don't even know the guy who commented that. Like, it's just weird behavior by men. Like, that's like little girl shit. Like, I hate to break it to you. It's little teenage girl gossip shit. Stop doing that. Some other guy asked me, fucking, how are you? Did any of the beef, what did he say? Did any of the beef with the other Bro Chat members, like, are you now a part of it too? Like, are you cool with all the ex-members of Bro Chat? I don't give a fuck about anybody else that ever did Bro Chat. Whoever they are or whatever they're doing, like, that's their business. Like, it's not that I don't care, like, fuck them. It's just like, I don't know those people, so it has nothing to do with me. Like, I hope they're happy. I hope they're cool, man. Like, and you're this little, like, shit disturber, like, stirring up shit, like, is there any drama? Like, you're digging for gossip, like a man digging for gossip from another stranger who's a man. Like, oh, I want to be able to tell my friends that I got an answer out of Mike for this fucking nonsense that I asked him about, complete utter bullshit. Like, don't do that shit, tagging people in other people's shit and then saying like, oh, this person's so much better, or this person would do this better. Like, don't do that, man. If you follow me, you do that shit, just unfollow me. I don't need you to follow me. Go follow some like gossiping little shit. There's enough of them in the fucking industry. They're more than happy to oblige you. Some of them have their own YouTube channels. I think you might be mentally disturbed if you are a woman and you give yourself a fake ass, put an ass implant in, or ass shots. Like, your entire value to the world is the size of your ass. Like, how fucking sad are you? Sad as hell.
So,
It also looks fucking repulsive. I hate to break it to you girls. There's only a certain type of person that likes that shit. And they also like to frequent strip clubs and fucking throw money and do all kinds of nonsense. They may or may also not make their living off befriending women like you and putting you to work. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. It's hard to watch when people are training, and especially when they're super gifted and they're super talented and they're just like on the cusp of probably being one of the like top bodybuilding, like they're on their way to becoming top Olympian type people. They're in that conversation and you just see them making the same mistakes over and over again. And it's like there's no bodybuilder on the planet that hasn't fallen victim to the like lift heavier, get bigger no matter what, like bullshit. There's still people living in that mentality today that are like, they could be retired and they're still trying to like go in the gym every day and fucking smash workouts like they did when they were fucking 25, but they're like 50 fucking 3 now. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to like change gears, man. Like, you can't be cruising in the same gear the whole time. You're gonna blow out your clutch, right? Like, you gotta gear down, like relax. It's true though, like fuck man, like I see some of the ways the guys lift who are like my age or even like a little older than me, and they're like still going to the gym every day and fucking like barbell squatting and fucking like leg pressing like so hard that their legs are fucking quaking and pushing it up. It's like, and your legs aren't like, it goes to show you your legs aren't what they were back then. So why do you think that doing the same thing you did back then is going to elicit the same results? It's not. Like, your body was responsive then. Lots of gear, you're younger, strength is through the roof, like tendons are fresh, ligaments are fresh, joints aren't as worn out. So it's like you gotta lift accordingly. Like, I have issues with my knees now, like on and off, but I had to find within the last 6 months, especially after my hip replacement, a new foot stance to be able to do squats properly and leg presses properly to like not aggravate my knee. But that doesn't mean that it's worse. It's just like, that's how I have to move now. And I'm still moving efficiently and hitting the muscle, but it's just not how I moved when I was younger. And I'm not failing because I had to change. It's just like, it's different, right? Like, it's like a pitcher in baseball, like a guy who's got like when he's younger, he's got like a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and he just fucking zips like strikeout him guys. But as he gets older, that arm strength goes down. He's got to learn how to throw a changeup, off-speed pitches like curveballs, things that are like gonna trick people, like throw off their timing. That's the same with every sport. It's like you see veteran quarterbacks in the NFL. When they're younger, even if they're not scramblers, they're able to like evade stuff, run out of the pocket, get a first down. But as they get older, like they're like, I can't do that, so they got to sit there and they have to be better at understanding what's going on and make decisions quicker, right? But for some reason in bodybuilding, we keep this mentality where it's like we have to overdo it all the time. You can't not. It has to be hardcore and like hard blow. It's just, but intensity is relative, right? Like, as long as the exercise is intense while you're here, results will happen. And that intensity doesn't need to happen over a long duration. It doesn't need to happen over a ton of poundages. It just needs to happen through what you're doing with the poundages and the exercises you're doing. And there'll be a response from the body. It's not like my body only responds when I do 4 plates and up on a squat. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you know, like, you've never heard of other like isometrics or like fucking rest pauses or supersets drops. You never heard of this stuff? No, man, it's heavy or nothing. It's like, and it's the same. You see that same person, like, they can't walk for a week after they do legs and they're older. It's like, I'm good, thanks. I don't need another operation. I'm good. Saying if you incorporate that idea of thinking into a younger person that's coming up, I guarantee you, they may not listen to you all the way because that drive and that hunger is going to take over to want to lift that weight, but at least you're embedding in their brain a bit. Like, it's not all about this. Like, pull back. Like, do this a little more like thoughtfully. Like, don't go up so quickly. Like, don't be reaching for that rate that you think is like unattainable. You'll get there eventually. There's no rush to get to the weight. Once you get there, you're still going to keep going. So why rush to get there? Because it's a never-ending. It's a never-ending thing. You're going to always be seeking more, right? So take your time to get there. There's no rush. Just like walk down the hill. Don't run down it. Just walk down, and you'll get down just as well. You see the people running down the hill to the side, you wiping out and falling. You just walk down slow, man. Like, get to the bottom and I'm gonna go up the hill again. I'm trying to like over rotate when I pull these. I bring this shoulder back and then I throw this shoulder through. I'm still arching when I pull, like I've talked about before, but I'm trying to like get this twisting of my body to happen so my lat can let out and I can roll around the other side more. Especially when you're trying to like get better movement when you're like I am pinned on one side, I can't get full range on one side. It's like I still want that like, oh, it's almost like I want to overemphasize movement a little bit sometimes on the good side because that neurologically is firing. Both sides are getting a signal. The right side's not getting as much obviously, but like the left side is. So I'd rather understand this like over lengthening so that it's that same signal is being sent to the shoulder, so it understands like it can move more than it wants to. Like I can really extend it. I can like lengthen my arm more than I want to. You know what I mean? So when I do these like hanging things and I do my pendulums with my arm, it's used to like this idea of like letting out. It's not like I'm tight here and I'm tight here. And neither one of them wants to move type thing. I don't think I have anything else to say. Fresh out of shit to say. Fresh out of fucks.